My name is Kevin. I'm an English teacher. I scored 8.5 in IELTS, did a master's degree in Australia, and I run a YouTube channel about language learning. But the truth is, I'm still terrified of speaking English. Let me give you an example. There was one time, me and a couple of friends visiting a temple in Wollongong, Australia. We went to the cafeteria to get some vegetarian food. As we were standing in line, I noticed myself panicking. When it was my turn, looking at those vegetables that I didn't know the exact English name for, instead of pointing and communicating like a normal human being, my ego wouldn't allow me. I had to sound perfect. So I just stood there, stuttering. One of my friends stepped in and she was like pointing at a dish. Can I get this and that? Simple, yeah, but it gets the job done. I felt deeply embarrassed. I was not embarrassed because my English was poor, but because my relationship with it was so toxic. To a point, I was willing to completely forgo the actual communication just to protect my ego of sounding perfect in English. It turns out I'm not alone. IELTS teachers, English majors, they told me they face the exact same thing. The better their English gets, the harder they try to sound perfect, and the more terrified they become of making mistakes, just like me. And I ended up being in this permanent mental gap. Here's where I am. Here's the summit to the mountain where I think I'm supposed to be right now. But the trap is, whenever I get better, the summit also moves higher away, so the distance actually never shortens. I just become stricter, meaner, and more brutal to myself. It literally has nothing to do with how good or bad my English is, whether I get better or not. I just beat myself up. To a point, I was too afraid of speaking English. When I sat down to really think about why I was trapped like this for such a long time, that's when I realized it all started from all the bad experiences I accumulated in school. I grew up in a system where every single mistake that I made was marked with a giant red cross on the test paper. Points were deducted. So mistakes weren't treated like feedback. Mistakes were treated like a failure. And that's why I started running away from opportunities to speak English. Whenever there was a chance to speak English, I immediately think my English was too poor, because I could already predict things would go south based on my previous bad experience. And by staying silent, I was able to continue to live in my own imagination of how good my English could be, instead of facing the messy reality of what it actually is right now. So I resort to safe consumption. I ended up watching endless videos, listened to podcasts, read books, memorized chunks, and I thought I was working hard. But that was an illusion. The biggest lesson I got from it was language learning at its core. It's all about making mistakes. You speak, you notice somebody else says it in a different way, and that difference becomes your intake and feedback for you to adjust and iterate, and then you got better. And if I eliminate all the mistakes entirely, I basically take away all my opportunities to grow. I blocked the shortcuts and I forced myself to take the longest and most painful road possible, staying in my comfort zone and forever fear speaking English. I haven't fully gotten out of this trap yet myself, but I believe I can now, because I've been witnessing somebody else breaking through it, and that somebody is Haley. And the funny thing is, I actually designed the method for her. We're focusing entirely on her real struggles, which were also mine. We decided to rebuild her relationship with learning English and making mistakes, not just some grammar or vocabulary issues on the surface level. The strategy was pretty simple and straightforward. Stop accumulating bad experiences and start collecting positive ones. Let me explain. So in the past, whenever I study English or use English, I always felt like I was walking into a room and getting slammed at by somebody, a teacher, a grammar police on the internet, and a lot of times my internal own judge, myself. And eventually, I stopped. Who wants to get slammed at in their face? But this time, we're flipping that story. Instead of a slam, Haley started to rewarding herself for simply trying. And gradually, things become enjoyable and pleasant. And one of the key factors to make this happen is that she stopped learning other people's English. No textbooks, no random YouTube video clips. She started to using her own life as her learning material. Let me give you a specific example. There was one time we took our dogs to an open grassy area for lunch. As we were unpacking, we got swarmed by 3 dogs. And one of the aggressive dogs started pinning our dog into a corner and started to biting him. Haley was so terrified. The next day, she spent the entire morning processing the intense experience in her own journal entry. And then we used AI to turn that into authentic, natural English learning material. This is where the relationship with English can fully change. Comparing her original journal entry with the authentic English rewritten output showed her the gaps, things that she didn't know how to say in English. In the past, those gaps would feel like drawing the brutal red cross on the test paper and points deducted, but this time it's different. They are just judgment-free signals showing her exactly where to improve. And because it's something that actually happened in her life, something that she deeply cares about, learning and turning this life experience into English of her own became surprisingly easy. A month later, she told the same exact story in a live class, and she spoke it so fluently.
That dog suddenly lunged at Dongli and started biting him. She was so aggressive, and she pinned Dongli into a corner. I was just, extremely terrified, so I rushed over and tried to stop her. She wouldn't let go. I didn't know what should I do, so I just started shouting and even used my chopsticks with my hands and tried to drive her away. I felt like it was so ridiculous.
I was completely blown away, and that's only possible because she wasn't fawning over some boring textbooks, random YouTube video clips. She was learning, picking up English in her own life. She wanted to do it, she enjoys doing it because it's her emotions, her relationship, her dogs. She's just reliving the whole experience, using English as a tool. English is no longer a subject for her to cram. And seeing her actually enjoying the language, the whole process of learning and picking up English, I got inspired. And that's also the reason why I'm making this confession, because I don't want to beat myself up any longer. I don't want to continue to present myself as somebody that I am not. I want a healthy relationship with English learning where I can feel free to make mistakes and enjoy making them. And this is when I realized I need a safe place to practice this every single day. I need a sandbox where I can turn my emotions, relationships, my sadness, happiness, my dogs, everything that happens in my life into language learning material so that I can absorb. Before we used to journal, which were excellent, and now we want it even better. We want it more convenient, more instant, something that sits in your pocket. You can just pull them out and you're ready to go. Yeah, we're building our own app. It's not your traditional language learning application that marks your mistakes, telling you you're not good enough. It's really a playground for you to safely figure out your own puzzle, one day at a time, one text at a time. And with this app, now I got a ton of opportunities to practice speak English, and it's all 100% relevant to my life. It's something that I care to talk about, something I actually wanted to learn. So I enjoy doing them. I was finally giving myself the permission to be an English learner again. It has turned my toxic relationship with English into such a healthy and fun one, and I believe this app can do the same for you guys. I cannot wait to share this with you guys. You can head to our official web and sign up for our waiting list. We'll let you know the moment the app is ready. For now, please just hang in there, and remember, you don't have to be perfect. You have the permission to make mistakes, and you're not alone. Alright, my name is Kevin, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye!